Hi. Good evening, good evening. It is Friday and it is time for Camper Conversations. So I know I'm live, so it usually takes people a little bit of time to get on. So I'm going to stall a little bit. So last Friday, we didn't have Camper Conversations because I took a little vacay time. I had some time to go. It was Memorial Day weekend, so I went to the beach and I enjoyed myself and some friends. And we had a good time. So we took off last Friday, but now we're back. And it being that I'm going to post this, I really don't have to postpone starting, so I'm going to get started. Welcome to Camper Conversations. It's Friday. It's Friday. Close the door. Welcome to Camper Conversations. Welcome to my camper. So I hate to say it, guys, but I have yet to take my camper out. I literally bought it months ago because it was a really, really good deal. And I've always wanted one, and I've always said I was going to get one. And I have this flyaway piece of hair. Y'all see that? Let me try to fix this. So I've always wanted one. So a great deal came up, and Lord bless that I was able to buy one. So, okay. So here we go. Camper Conversations. We're not going to stay on here long because I have some things going on this weekend and I do have to go. Haven't really been at work all day, but I'm here now. Well, not here now. I'm getting ready to leave. So, our subject today is, first of all, let me say this. I always have to say this. I do not profess to be a relationship expert. Outside of childcare and education. That's my profession. That's my love. That's what I do. But I don't profess to be a relationship expert. But what I do profess to be is a black woman living this life, doing this thing, and loving the hell out of it. That's what I profess. So, I'm 49, so I've definitely had some experiences, different experiences. I've been single, I've been married, I've dated, I've courted, all this stuff. So the subject today, the topic that's been coming up for me, is talking about characteristics, personalities, alpha, beta, personality types. So my sister, Claudette, hey sis, my sister actually brought several good memes to me and some TikToks that just were perfect, right? And they set the subject matter really good. And I actually wanted to post one, and I'll actually post one after we're done. But it's a really good one. Let me see if you guys can hear this one. Let me see. Wait a minute. When I call. I'm gonna post it though. Let me try to see if I can get it. This is really good. This is really good.
There's no need to throw me to the wolves. They come when I call.
Yo. She said,
there's no need to throw me to the wolves. They come when I call.
She said there's no, let me text her. She said there's no need to throw me to the wolves. They come when I call. I love, love, love that. I love, love, love that. And if you guys don't get that, hopefully you'll get it in a minute. So, I realize, and I've learned, I'm sorry guys. Hey, can you text me? All right, love you. You know, when you call mommy, mommy's supposed to answer all the time. So anyway, I learned very long time ago, what my personality type was. And I am truly an alpha female. I'm an alpha female. There's so many different definitions that come with being an alpha female. And let me tell you one. It says, here's some signs that you're an alpha woman. You're the center of attention whenever you go. Your relationship with a man does not define you. You're often considered to be mean and disrespectful because of your confidence and belief. You're taking control of your life. You don't let anyone or anything hold you back. These are just a few statements of an alpha woman that I found and that I read. But being an alpha female, and I don't know if you know what your personality type is. I don't know if you even kind of get into this type of thing, but without even trying to get into it, the day-to-day life that we live, it gets us into it. Because what position we're in, where we position ourselves in society and our relationships in the world, are defined by the personality type that we have. I said last week that it can be a blessing and a curse for me. Okay? Being an alpha female, that's being an alpha female, it puts me in a position to be a leader. My grandmother told me years ago, guys, I remember when I was 5 years old, my grandmother pretty much laid the line and set the tone for me. And she told me when I was 5, with her Caribbean accent, she was like, Donna, you're gonna be a teacher. And she said that, and I promise y'all that sat with me for a very, very long time. And not even purposeful thought in my decision making in life. She spoke something into me, and it just came into fruition as I lived. But realizing that I am an alpha female, sometimes being that this page is about relationships, growth, marriage, courting, dating, all those good things, I'm going to put it on that side of it. Being that I'm an alpha female, it tends to be hard at times to find the perfect match for me. Ladies who are alpha females, y'all will totally understand this. Because there's the feminine and there's the masculine that resides in us. And with that residing in us, the brothers that come my direction have to come strong, have to come confident, have to know thyself, and be able to handle this. When I say be able to handle this, I don't mean control. I don't have my own way of doing things and they come in. To me, that means a loving brother who a loving brother who knows how to lead, who knows how to direct without belittling or making you feel less than or anything. That to me is what me as an alpha female needs. That's what I relate to. That's what works for me. Learning your personality trait, learning who you are, helps in relationships. And knowing that every personality type does not mesh. Every personality type does not go together. So knowing that, you have to understand what's acceptable for you. You have to understand what you can tolerate. You have to understand what you connect to. Okay? So, again, being an alpha female, I'm used to taking charge. I'm used to leading. I'm used to making things happen. I'm used to not asking. I'm used to not having to ask. Because, again, I take charge, which means I control the things that go on around me. My money, my time, who I give attention to, all of that good stuff. And I'm going to speak on both sides of it. It's a blessing because I can handle things. I take care of things. I, at one time, y'all, had a mortgage and 2 rents. Renting and leasing properties I was dealing with personally. And I promise you, I know it wasn't nothing but God. But I don't know how I was able to do it. But I was able to do it. I know I was able to do it, first of all, because God provided and He blessed. And secondly, I was able to do it because I had such a drive and ambition. And when I put my mind to something and I have a goal that I want to set, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I teach my kids all the time, no is not an answer. Like when you're trying to get somewhere and move and position yourself in life, no, I don't know what that is. Because if one person says no, then the next person is going to say yes. You just have to keep going until you get there. Hey, Kevin said, isn't being an alpha more of a defense mechanism from a man not valuing you? Honestly asking. I'm sorry, let me get this understood. Isn't being an alpha more of a defense mechanism from a man not valuing you. I'm trying to understand this. Are you saying being an alpha is a defense mechanism? Somebody gonna have to help me out with that. Kind of reword that a little bit for me, Kevin. Claudette got it. So no. So what? So isn't being an alpha more of a defense mechanism? So are you saying that a woman who is an alpha, that's her being defensive? She puts up a defense mechanism from a man not valuing you. No. I'm going to agree with Claudette. I'm going to agree with my sister. No, it's not a defense mechanism, because I was an alpha female. I was an alpha woman before a male even came along. So it's not a defense mechanism. What it is just who I am, who that particular woman is, or who that particular male is. But you have to understand who you are. So it's not a defense thing. It's just who I am, and the expectations that I have, what I value, and what I need in life. So I don't see it as being a defense mechanism. If I'm getting that, if I'm getting that right, it's knowing myself and understanding what an alpha is. An alpha, male or female, cannot be selfish and self-serving. An alpha cannot be selfish. It cannot be about my gain and what I can get out of it and what I can do and I in the long run. That's not an alpha. An alpha doesn't do that. An alpha leads from the back. An alpha leads because an alpha wants to see what's going on and how they can protect and how they can take care of. That is an alpha. I don't see it at all, Kevin, as a defense mechanism. I see it as a plus. And again, it's a positive and it's a negative. Where it comes in as a negative, if you want to look at it as that, for me personally, the men that are in my life, the men who have come in my life, and it is what it is, have not been able to guess based on what their personality is, have not necessarily been able to deal with my personality type as far as me being an alpha. Not saying, I ask that because some men have treated women so bad that she has learned to strictly depend on herself for everything. I get you, Kevin. I understand the question now. I understand even more now. And let me respond to that. I can't say that necessarily for me, because I look at life as things are going to happen. Either I'm going to learn from it and grow from it, move away from it. I don't believe in things taking me down and taking me out. And I do know that there are women who have a defense mechanism because they've been hurt. There are men that do that as well, but they do it in a different way. So a woman being an alpha is really not something that she can control, that she can put up a defense. Now, what you're saying there is just exactly what that is. Putting up a defense because she's scared that she's going to be hurt. And I'm sure we've all been there at some point in time or another. I've been there myself, but that has nothing to do with the type of personality that I have. That may not have anything to do with this type of personality this certain woman has or this certain male has as being an alpha. Carlotta said, I am 3 years older than my sister, but in high school, she protected me because she was an alpha female. I was not. Love my sister to death. And we talked about what hers was. And she's more of that free-spirited support kind of thing. And to be honest, men, from what I've studied and what I've read and what I've been looking into, guys, men prefer a beta female than an alpha female. That's the preference, because a beta female has more female tendencies. She's more eager and able to move more to how the man wants her to move. Doesn't make her bad. Doesn't make it bad. Doesn't make the situation bad. Doesn't make her less than. That's just her personality type. Me personally, as an alpha female, I'm not going to bend and stretch and move quite how it may be asked for me. I'm the one I need to understand why. I need to understand where you're taking us. I need to understand how we're getting there. And I need to learn and grow to trust you, that I don't have to have these questions. And I don't have to, be that. Because trust and believe, I can only personally speak for myself. I would love, 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 y'all, to have a man, to be with a man that does all those things for me. I would love that. And I'm not saying that past experiences from childhood to adulthood has not fashioned some of how I am, because of course it has. We live what we learn, and we make decisions on how we're going to do that. So of course some things have kind of molded how I am and who I am, but what's embedded in me, the type of woman that I am, it wasn't really a learned process, I don't think. I believe our personalities come from, pretty much come from who we are and who we're going to be. In education and child development, they teach that a child is going to, in the first 2 to 3 years of life, their personality is going to be formed. Who they are is going to be formed in the first 2 or 3 years of their lives. So none of the hurt has come. None of the difficulties have come. None of the back and forths has come. None of the gains or losses have come at 2 and 3 years old. That was already formed in who I was and who you were before you got to that point. It's all the people and things in your life that move from childhood to adulthood that do have some effect on you and how you are and who you're going to be. So, just a good point on that. Be careful of how we train and deal with our children. We have to understand the mind of a child to know, to be able to teach and train. And again, that's just my side of that on education and working with children, brain development. We don't get a handbook as parents. Some do, some don't. Meaning some take the time to prepare and read. When I got pregnant with my oldest, my mother was like, oh, you taking CPR and first aid. You need to read this and you need to read that and you need to understand your child and know. And when I got older and went into education and started studying, those thoughts came back to me. I was like, wow, if I would have known that then, Clutter said, I tend to take in information and follow my leader. However, I do have a mind of my own. Beta female, yes. Take in the information and follow. Nothing wrong with that, because in that process, like she said, she has a mind of her own. So she is following her mate. She is following her supervisor or whoever's in the leadership position, and she's following them with the information she has, the knowledge that she has, and she's going with it. So Kevin said, I think men like women who ask questions and challenge us to be better. There's absolutely nothing wrong with a strong, let me open this up, with a strong woman. Being a super passive and conformatory woman is a turnoff. Kevin, so let me ask this question, because I see it, honestly, it's been a turn off and it's been a turn on. And let me put it like this. As an alpha female, I have friendships that have gone on for years, you all. I'm talking about my male friendships. I have relationships that I've broken up with someone, or they broken up with me and we parted ways and realized it wasn't for us to be together. And the common denominator in every man that I have dealt with, relationship level or friendship level, developing to years of friendship, the common denominator was the fact that I was confident, I was strong, I took care of my own, they knew that I had their backs, they knew that it would be, they wouldn't be in a position where they would have to be carrying me. Let me put it like that. They wouldn't have to be carrying me. And understand, that's not a negative word. Carrying someone does not necessarily have to be have negative connotation to it. Just understand what it means. But the common denominator in all these men were the fact that, Donna is a strong woman, and that is attractive. But let me tell you what the problem was. And no disrespect to the ones who are still the loves of my lives. You know who you are. the ones who are still close friends, and we can have our back and forths and still love each other and hug on each other and visit each other and see each other and all of that stuff. I'm not talking about the ones who couldn't handle being with me because they weren't what they said they were. They weren't the alpha male that they were trying to portray that they were. They weren't the strong man, the supportive man, the confident man, the got my stuff together man. They weren't. And I can count 2, y'all. I can count 2 that were not that, and that's why that didn't work out. But these gentlemen that I'm talking about, we are still friends. We still love on each other. We still spend time together. We talk, we laugh, we fuss, we argue, and they respect me and I respect them because they understand who I am. And again, no disrespect to them, but their personality was just not a match. But it's a match enough that they don't leave. And I love that. I love that. I love that I can pick up the phone and call and send a text, and that brother is right there. And he understands who I am, and he respects who I am, and I respect who he is. So you got your pluses and your minuses in it, but you have to take your negatives and you got to turn them into something positive. And you have to see, maybe that just means I'm not meant to be with that person in that way. Whether it came through lies and dishonesty, or it came through just realizing, hey, we're better off as friends. So I'm going to say this, ladies, if you are an alpha female, please use your powers for good. Understand who you are. Understand there's nothing wrong with you. Understand that there is a man out there somewhere who's made just for you. Who's made just for you. I don't trip on relationships ending, y'all. I don't. I don't trip on relationships ending. And, you know, some are hurtful. There have been relationships that ended that were hurtful. And I had to sit back and understand why, what my part was in the situation that ended relationship. And hopefully they've sat back and they've realized their part and understood where they were and what part they played in the relationship ending. But I can only speak for myself. I can only look at myself. And as an alpha female, I know that it's going to take a very special man to lead me. Because as an alpha female, I do want to be with a man who can lead me. And I talked about earlier what that is. So ladies and gentlemen, understand where you are. Understand who you are. If you're not an alpha, there's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't mean you're less than. It just means your personality just flows somewhere else. If you're a beta, it doesn't mean that you're less than. It means that your personality just flows somewhere else. I think it's a matter of balance. Strong women are super desirable. It's just a matter of the person having a humble spirit. Very true, Kevin. Very, very true. And I'm going to be honest, transparent. I have not always had a humble spirit because I've dealt with men that I know were not a match for me. And there were times in the past where I kind of took advantage of that. And I've had to go back and make corrections. I've had to go back and give apologies. I've had to go back and say, hey, I'm not walking in the position that I should have, or I should have been with you. I apologize for the disrespect. And if the brother is not that brother, if his personality is just not that, then we both have to accept that and go whichever way we go. This is a great subject. We must continue this discussion on the group page. Yeah, so I'm going to post that TikTok, Kevin, that I showed you guys at the beginning. And I really, really hope we get into a discussion with it and we really go more. So if you have some information, some topics, post it on the page so we can kind of elaborate and go into this. But I'm getting ready to end. It's kind of warm in the camper because I didn't come out and open it earlier like I should have and got the air flowing. And I just got the hair laid, so we don't want to sweat it out. So, alpha, beta, what is your personality? What gives you your strength? What makes you move? What helps you be who you are? And how does it relate to other people? When you understand who you are and you accept who you are, and you come, like Kevin said, with a humble spirit, You ain't gonna lose. You are not going to lose. I'm an alpha female. My name is Donna. I love to lead, but I love to be led by the right spirit. All right. Love y'all. Have a good evening. And Kevin, I'm going to post some stuff, and hopefully you'll post some stuff. You and Claudette both. I'm not sure who else is on here. I really can't see. I'll see after it's done. But thank you, Camper Conversations. Let's see what our next subject is going to be Friday. I'm sure that'll come along with stuff we do and say and we put out on the page, because that's usually how it goes down. Love you guys. Have a